Alright, first up here in the Pokemon Tower, now that we have the Silph Scope, our first of 3 Pokemon is Gastly. Now Gastly and its evolved forms are the only Ghost Pokemon in this entire game. And you know, the Ghost type is actually really good. But Gastly as a Pokemon itself, it's, you know, like I've already stated, it's actually really good. If you need a good, you know, a good special attacker, look no further than here. If you didn't pick Abra or don't have an Kadabra at this point in the game, I would definitely recommend it. But I'm not going to pick one of these guys up. Next up we have Gastly's evolved form, Haunter. Now, Haunter is one of 4 Pokemon that you have to trade in order to get it to be fully evolved. In this case, if you trade it with someone, it'll become a Gengar. Now, Haunter is actually, you know, is kind of on par with, you know, Gastly, other than the fact that it's, you know, a bit stronger and a bit better. But, you know, it's not Gastly, or, you know, it's not Gengar. So, if you need a good Ghost type and a good special attacker, look no further than here. Highly respectable, I have to admit. But, like how I said before, I'm not going to pick one up. And the last thing you can find here in Pokemon Tower with the Silph Scope is Cubone. Now, Cubone is a pure ground type. It's actually a pretty decent ground type, I have to admit, but it's not that fast. So I would actually recommend you to have a Diglett or, at this point, a Dugtrio instead of having a Cubone. But I mean, it's a solid ground type, it's just painfully average. The one thing that I do have to mention about this Pokemon is that its original English name was going to be Orphan. I am dead serious, you can look that shit up. But yeah, it's a decent-ish ground type. Okay, so after defeating the Fighting Dojo, you can pick one of 2 prize Pokemon, like how I just mentioned. So our first choice here is Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is more of the, you know, the kicking Pokemon. Its main skill is for, you know, using a lot of kicking attacks. And, you know, it's actually a pretty decent fighter, I have to admit. If you need a really good fighting type, I guess it won't be too bad for you to pick this one up. Although I kind of would honestly recommend and prefer Mankey and Primeape. But it's a solid fighter, I have to admit. It's pretty good, I have to admit. Definitely worth picking up if you need a good fighting type. Second choice here, you have Hitmonchan. Now, Hitmonchan is more of the, you know, the punchy Pokemon, but unfortunately, it's mainly good for, like, you know, physical attacks. But its main, you know, attacks like Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch, they are considered special, because, you know, this is before Gen 4 and the physical special split. So it's a good Pokemon, it's not worth getting it in, you know, for this game. It's kind of almost a gimmick at this point. So even if you want a Hitmonchan, don't get it in this game at least.